We are finally getting to see some super teams fully healthy, as the Clippers are consistently running Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, and James Harden on the floor together. And while the Suns might be excited to see their Titanic trio running around, compared to how LA is running their offense, they should feel concerned. So let's break down what happened last night and see why the Clippers are a lot closer than the Suns to an NBA title. The difference in the way these two teams attack, despite each having 3 dominant scorers, couldn't be more stark. The Clippers are the hottest team in the NBA over the last 18 games, and while we're still seeing plenty of isolations for their big dogs, they've unlocked something out of the pick and roll that will make them a threat to go deep in the playoffs, but more importantly, keep their role players active and engaged. The James Harden-Ivica Zubac pick and roll was a pairing that simply killed the Suns all night long. By going to the right, they're forcing Kevin Durant to make a decision, help off of Kawhi Leonard in the corner, or stay at home and take their chances with Zub one-on-one in the post. Durant makes the right decision, but Ivica is a capable scorer with nice touch down low against a center that isn't very imposing down there. The trust Harden is showing in Zubac is important, since easy buckets like this make the big three's job a lot easier. Again, KD won't help off of Leonard in the corner, Nurkic has to mine Harden's drive, and it leaves the lob open for a nice flush. They run their 21 action quick, and it's a nice situation to be in where you decide if you want to hand off to a sprinting Paul George or pitch to an attacking Harden with an empty corner and no help on the weak side. Notice how PG's cut sucks Nurkic to the top of the key. Now he's out of position to handle the inside ball screen. This forces Brad Beal to rotate all the way over to the restricted area, leaving a wide open pass and shot for Terrence Mann. While this shot doesn't go in, the penetration directly leads to Zubac getting perfect position for the offensive rebound, and the Suns can't find any answers. Paul George shows his faith in Zubac as he draws both defenders and makes the most advantageous pass to the roll man attacking the paint, where he earns a trip to the charity stripe. Terrence Mann has struggled mightily from three-point land this season, so I get why they test him by helping one pass away off the strong side corner in order to load up on the Harden pick and roll. But Mann has been on a tear the last 5 games, so he makes them pay for their mistake. Again, Harden goes to his right where there are 2 players spotting up, all in order to give more space for Zubac to short roll. It becomes a 2-on-1 versus Grayson Allen, and the easy pass, easy shot extends their lead to 6. If you're wondering why the Suns kept defending the pick and roll this way, it's because James Tiberius Harden is on the ball, and if you don't have the big step up on him, he'll just abuse his man into the lane and hit him with a nasty step back fadeaway from 12 feet. And I love this set. Watch how cutting Paul George off a Zubac screen forces Nurkic to touch him, causing major separation between him and his man. Now he's in no position to help defend the pick and roll. And when Harden rejects the screen, they're faced with his notorious sidestep to his right 3-point shot. Now that the Clippers have burned them no less than 8 times with this action, let's see how much gravity Zubac commands on his roll. Beal gets to the lane line, staring a hole through the ball in order to dissuade the roll pass. This wouldn't be terrible if he were guarding someone other than Paul George. The way too late closeout makes PG's job much easier than it normally is, as he just rises up over the smaller guy for another Clipper triple. The solution for the Suns would be to stop having the weak side corner help rotate so far into the lane. Nurkic does a good job to not let Zubac get below him, so he's able to recover on the pass. There was no need for Allen to have 2 feet in the paint, creating a 20-foot closeout that Norman Powell attacks with a trip to the museum, showing us the diorama of a long-forgotten shot-fake one-dribble pull-up from 17 feet. Ty Lue recognized how important it is to let the offense work for his stars, otherwise risk tiring them out early with all manner of tough isolations and fading at the end of the game. That kind of ball sharing makes it easier to predict who's going to score, and that will definitely help you with Prize Picks to pick the over on Kawhi and PG's point totals each night. With Prize Picks, you're only competing with yourself, and you can choose 2 or more players from any sport. Pick more or less on their projected stats and place your entry. Here are my picks for tonight, as I'm thinking Hartenstein and Brunson will light up the Blazers defense, while Luka won't quite get to 35 points versus Memphis. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. The Suns tried the old school hedge and recover on the pick and roll, and this worked, but they try it again here and it just puts Nurk completely out of position for the long roll. Allen has to rotate all the way over, and Booker is supposed to position himself here in order to close out to whomever the pass is thrown to. He doesn't want to leave Paul George. Allen has way too much distance to cover, and Mann nails another corner three to extend the lead. There is no question the Suns have figured out how to run their offense to get KD buckets. They love to match up hunt by setting a screen with the desired defender and force a switch. But the Suns have a consistent spacing issue. And when they get bunched up like this, it allows Kawhi to ignore his man out of bounds in order to contest this tough runner into a miss. They also play two non-shooters in Okogie and Eubanks together, which allows the defense to double the ball and have Okogie's man ignore him to pick up the roll. While there was nowhere for Durant to go, he still finds a way to manufacture points. But the Suns don't utilize their roll men like the Clippers do, and with a scorer like KD, you can see why they don't need to when he's handling the ball. On this pistol action that starts with the handoff into ball screen, Booker is way too far out to be a catch-and-shoot threat. Nurkic does not roll and allows Zubac to angle Beal towards the baseline, and without much passing, he misses the low-efficiency mid-range shot. Here's another pistol action that invites the double team, but because Booker flattens his angle out towards the right side, he can't get the pass back to Eubanks, who doesn't short roll to a place where he could have been passed to. As a result, Booker deals with the thing he hates most, a double team, before promptly turning it over on a terrible pass. So many of their pick and rolls don't even have an option of hitting the roll man, and with bad spacing with zero gravity players, guys like Powell can overhelp to stop the attack. And then a simple switch of the pick and roll eliminates the possibility of a short roll, so Beal dribbles the ball off his foot. The other reason why they don't utilize a short roll in the same devastating way as the Clippers use it is because they're not good at making the roll pass. At least 3 times last night, we saw the ball handler throw the ball away when just trying to hit the roll man. Combine that with consistently poor spacing, and it explains why a team with this many weapons is only ranked 11th in offensive rating and even lower over the past 15 games in which they've only won 7. In one of the only sets where they got all 3 involved together, they opened the game with flex action for Booker on the left side. But having Beal cut to the corner where Allen is already occupying, it allows Mann to rotate to the roll man while Harden can guard 2. And then the Clippers have one of the best defenders in the league to ride KD towards the free throw line and aggressively swipe at the ball to make the shot miss. The Suns show more bad spacing in the right corner as the 2 non-shooters hover here, and it allows Kawhi to ignore his man and shadow KD on the left block. KD decides there's no way he's going to attack with Leonard waiting for him, but there's no room to operate on the right side. Now the shot clock is winding down, and they need someone to do something. Great defense to smother the drive to the left, and then tough contest of another mid-range shot. While Harden, PG, and Kawhi have all shown the willingness to give the ball up to find a good shot, neither of the Suns' top 3 are that willing to move the ball. Booker does hit this contested mid-range, but he ignores KD wide open in the corner, and then he completely ignores Grayson Allen wide open on the left wing in order to force this 3-point shot, and Beal won't hit him again in the corner either, leaving Nurkic to try and get creative down low, but Zubac simply having none of it. Nurkic again tries to toss in an awkward hook off the roll, while Allen has to stand there wondering why a guy scorching at 47% can only get 5.5 attempts a game. When comparing these big threes, I can't help but notice that the Clippers have 2 of the best perimeter defenders in the league with great size and length. The Suns, however, have 2 guys the Clippers targeted defensively, as both Beal and Booker are too small to deal with Paul George and don't have the defensive chops to stop him. This could very well be the fatal flaw of this roster, as KD isn't the player he once was defensively either, and in this high-scoring era, you still need to eke out 10 to 15 great defensive possessions a night. The Clippers' 3 amigos also utilize the 3-point shot a lot better, as Booker, Durant, and Beal are all mid-range guys that can shoot the 3, but don't do it with enough volume to combat the good shooting teams. The Suns got outscored by 5 3-point makes last night. And over the past 3 seasons, 980 teams that have done that have won their game, while only 278 have lost. By integrating the role players more into the offense, the Clippers have unlocked a whole new potential, making me feel like they're the favorites to represent the West in the finals. It's always exciting for a coach to see a team keep everyone involved, find a lot of success, and this no doubt will fuel the energy on the defensive end. The Suns haven't quite figured this out, despite some stats showing that their big three is a powerful mixture. But unless they get more shooting around them and better defensive playmaking, I suspect they'll be lucky to get into the playoffs, and if they do, they'll be destined for a first-round exit.